They burned her house down when she was just 12 years old, but what she did 82 years later shocked the world. Back in 1939, Opal Lee's family had just moved into a white neighborhood in Fort Worth, Texas, when a mob of 500 white supremacists stormed their home and burned it all to the ground simply because they were black. Police were called, but they couldn't stop the riot and no one was arrested. Fortunately, Opal's family escaped with their lives and fled several blocks away in the same city, but they carried scars that would last forever. Yet instead of being broken by that day, Opal made a decision to fight back, not with hate, but with hope. She became a teacher and counselor, building food banks, housing the homeless, fighting for civil rights, and even starting literacy programs for people society forgot. Decades later, Opal realized something chilling. The date her house was burned, June 19th, was the same day Black Americans had celebrated freedom for generations, Juneteenth. So she spent the next years fighting for something bigger, to turn the date of her greatest heartbreak into a national symbol of hope. At 89 years old, she traveled 1,400 miles from Texas to Washington, D.C., stopping in city after city to walk 2.5 symbolic miles, representing the 2.5 years it took for freedom to finally reach enslaved people in Texas after the Emancipation Proclamation, while also campaigning for Juneteenth to be recognized across America and become a national holiday. At first, it was just a handful of people marching with her. But soon, celebrities, millions of petitioners, and even the President of the United States were paying attention. And at 94 years old, Opal finally stood at the White House as President Biden signed Juneteenth into law and then dropped to one knee to personally thank her. 3 years later, she was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the highest civilian honor in America. But that wasn't the end, because shortly after receiving the award, volunteers gifted her a brand new home, right on the same land where her childhood house once stood. Now, the little girl they once tried to silence had become the grandmother of Juneteenth and changed the history of an entire nation.